Hey everyone, here's Mr. Ron, and today I'm going to teach you guys how to do the survey that it has been asked for us to do. It's going to look very similar to the one that we did at the beginning of the year. And remember, this is for us to know how are you feeling, especially now that we're not seeing each other face to face. So this is based on how you feel about distance learning. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Okay. So the first thing that you guys are going to do is open a Google search, and you are going to enter a link that I'm going to give you guys on your Google Classroom. So I already copied and pasted it. So I'm sorry, let me just go back here. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it right here. And it's going to take you to this screen. And you guys have seen this already because it looks very similar to the one that we did. So now you're going to enter right here your student ID or your access code. So your access code is going to be the number that you use to buy your lunch or your breakfast, which is the same one as your email. In this case, I'm going to borrow someone's ID. So I just pick someone randomly to use it, but I will not submit the survey for the student. I just want to show you guys. So once you put the link on the Google search bar, you're going to see this screen, and then you will see the space where it gives you so you can enter your access code. From there, you're going to click on enter, and it's going to show you this page. This is the student's name. Right here is the language in which I'm going to do the survey. You can change it to Spanish if you feel comfortable answering the questions in Spanish, but you're more than welcome to just keep it in English. And once you're ready, you're going to click on Start Surveys. You're going to click right here over the green box, and then you're going to see your name again. And I'm going to read the questions now so we can understand the questions and the answers in the way to answer the questions a little bit better. Okay, now we're ready to start. To better support you, your school and teachers would like to ask you some questions about how you think and feel. Only your teachers and school leaders will be able to see your responses, which will not affect your class grades. This means that this is not part of a grade. We just want to hear what you have to say. Please respond honestly. There are no right or wrong answers. Your voice is important, so thank you for sharing your thoughts and experiences. Okay? Learning at home. For the following questions, we're interested in learning more about your distance learning environment and needs. Please give us your honest opinions so that we can understand your experience to better support you. So this is only about learning at home. So in the last 2 months that you've been home, how have you been feeling? What are the things that you've noticed? What are the things that you need? So just focus on anything that's been going on in the last couple of months since we are learning from home. Okay, just like the survey that we did last time, it has 5 different ways of answering. First one right here says almost never, once in a while, sometimes, frequently, and almost all the time. So if you guys remember, when we did this last time, it was very similar, right? And I explained it to you guys in this way. So almost never will be when something does not happen, right? So if you feel like this has never ever happened to you, then you will be all the way on the left side. And the other way around, right? If it happens all the time, almost all the time, you'll be all the way on the right side. So for the ones that like numbers and kind of like is able to visualize it with numbers, if it almost never happens, will be a -2 all the way on the left side. A few times -1. Sometimes right here in the middle, a 0. Frequently, +1. And almost all the time, +2, all the way on the right side. So the way that the answers are going to look like in each question is going to be a little bit different, but try to picture this kind of like line, numeric line, so you can understand better where do you fall, if it's all the way on the left all the way on the right, maybe in the middle, maybe a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right. Okay, so for this one, it says, number one, how often are you able to access your schoolwork that is online? You have almost never, once in a while, sometimes, frequently, and almost all the time. So you're going to click on one of these, whichever you think is the one that tells the story the best in your case. If you made a mistake, you can still click on the other ones, but because I'm not going to submit this one, I'm going to just press clear. Okay. Question number 2. How confident are you that you can complete your assigned schoolwork this month? Meaning, you know you have a certain amount of schoolwork for this whole month. Do you think that you can do it? Are you kind of like in the middle? You feel like you cannot do it at all? And where do you fall on that? So all the way on the left will be not at all confident, a little bit up, slightly confident, in the middle, so sometimes yes, sometimes no, somewhat confident, quite confident, and extremely confident. Okay, make your pick. Number 3, in the past few months, how often have you stayed focused when doing schoolwork at home? So that means that being able to sit and do your work and follow directions and do what you have to do to complete your work at home. Almost never, once in a while, sometimes, frequently, almost all the time. Okay. Next. In the past few days, how challenging has your schoolwork been? Challenging meaning very difficult, right? So not at all challenging will mean that you feel like it's really easy. So it didn't make you have a hard time doing it. So not at all challenging, slightly challenging, so just a little bit, somewhat challenging, meaning in the middle. Sometimes it wasn't, sometimes it wasn't. Quite challenging, meaning, yeah, it was a lot. And then extremely challenging, meaning that it was very difficult. Okay, pick one of these. All right, number 5. How often do you have an adult at home who helps you complete your assignments? So no meaning that do you have an adult that is in your home that if you have any questions, they can come and help you complete whatever your teachers are asking you to do? Almost never, once in a while, sometimes, frequently, and almost all the time. And remember the scale. If it's almost never, it's all the way to the left. If it's almost all the time, it's all the way on the right. If it's sometimes, so half of the time yes, half of the time no, be right in the middle, and anything in between, right? Number 6, how easy is it for you to use the distance learning tools your school provided? So there's a few things that you guys have, right? Video calls, so Zoom, Google Meet, Google Sites. You have Google Docs, Google Slides, Jamboard, learning applications. You have Nearpod, you have Symphony Math, you have Myon, and all of these different applications that you guys use for reading, math, science, to see your work and all that. Again, how easy is it for you to use the distance learning tools your school provided? All the way on the left says not easy at all. That means that it's really, really hard for you. Slightly easy, so just a little bit, somewhat easy, so sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not. Quite easy means like, oh yeah, most of the time I can do it. And extremely easy, so you don't have any issues or almost any issues finishing your work using the technology that have been provided for you. Okay, number 7. In the past few days, how often have you talked with your classmates? Almost never, once in a while, sometimes, frequently, and almost all the time. Okay, pick something. Number 8. In the past few days, how much effort have you put into your classes? So if you're putting a lot of effort, that means that you're doing a lot of your work or trying to do a lot of your work, right? So all the way in the left says almost no effort. So you don't feel like you work really, really hard. A little bit of effort, some effort, So kind of like in the middle, quite a bit of effort, so a lot, and a great deal of effort, meaning like so much effort. And this is focusing on how hard have you been trying to do your work. It's not asking you how much work you've done. It's asking you how hard have you been trying to work and the assignments that they've been giving you so far. Okay. We're gonna go to the next section, but I'm gonna stretch a little bit. Remember, you need to stretch when you're sitting for too long in front of a computer. Okay, next section, daily habits. For the following questions, we're interested in learning more about your distance learning environment and needs. Please give us your honest opinions so that we can understand your experience to better support you. Okay, number 9. How much of your day do you spend using a smartphone, tablet, or computer that wasn't school related? So there's a certain amount of time that you use your computer or electronic devices for schoolwork, and there's other times that you use it for anything else, right? Anything else will be playing video games, playing computer games, talking to your friends, FaceTiming your friends, playing just random games on your tablet or whatever other electronic you have. All the way in the left says no part of the day, meaning not at all. You did not use the computer or any electronics besides to do work. A little bit of the day, some of the day, meaning like in the middle, quite a bit of the day, so quite a lot, and almost the entire day, meaning that right after you finish doing your work, you jumped into using a different electronic. Okay, now you can go ahead and answer. Okay, number 10. How much of your day do you spend watching TV? And for you guys that do not have a TV and you may be streaming something or you don't have cable, that also counts as TV, right? Because we're streaming something. So if you're watching Netflix or Disney Plus or Hulu or whatever other things you will watch on TV, that also includes watching TV, okay? No part of the day, meaning that you did not watch anything. A little bit of the day, some of the day, quite a bit of the day, and almost the entire day. So you pick how much TV or streaming do you usually do. Okay, number 11. How much of your day do you spend learning or completing schoolwork? So sometimes it takes us a little bit longer to do our work, right? So we're asking you how much of your day you're actually taking to finish it. No part of the day, meaning that you did not do any of your work or you weren't able to get on the computer to do your work. A little bit of the day, some of the day, kind of like half, quite a bit of the day, or almost the entire day. So if you pick this one, that will mean that it took you from the time that you woke up to almost the time that you went to sleep. So that will mean almost the entire day, right? So that doesn't mean just like the 4 hours that you're online. That means the whole and almost entire day. So from you wake up until you go to sleep. Okay, number 12. How much of your day do you spend talking to a friend from school? I know a lot of you guys have friends from other places, like neighborhood, maybe gymnastics or soccer, but we're asking you about your friends from school. Not part of the day, a little bit of the day, some of the day, quite a bit of the day, or almost the entire day. Okay, good job responding to these questions, and we're gonna go to the next section. Your needs. For the following questions, we're interested in learning more about your distance learning environment and needs. Please give us your honest opinion so that we can understand your experience to better support you. Number 13, how concerned are you about the health of your family? Concern, remember, means worried, right? Not at all concerned, slightly concerned, a little bit, somewhat concerned, kind of like in the middle, quite concerned, means like maybe a lot, and extremely concerned, all the way to the top. Okay, answer your question. Number 14, in the past few days, did you ever eat less than less than you felt you should because there wasn't enough food, that's kind of just like a yes or no question. So in the past few days, did you ever eat less than you felt you should because there wasn't enough food? Not because you didn't want to eat it, but because there wasn't enough food at home. Number 15, during the day, are you taking care of anyone in your family, such as siblings, parents, and or grandparents? Yes, for part of the day. Yes, for most of the day, or no. So for part of the day will be for a little bit, not the whole day. Yes, for most of the day, that means that you have the responsibility for a big amount of time, and then no. Okay, number 16. How helpful are your teachers in supporting your learning right now? So how much help are you receiving from your teachers? All the way on the left is not at all helpful, slightly helpful, somewhat helpful, kind of like in the middle, quite helpful, and extremely helpful. Okay, pick one. And we're gonna go to the next section, stretch a little bit. Okay, your feelings. These questions ask about how you've been feeling recently. Please respond honestly. There are no right or wrong answers. Again, you do not have to answer any of these questions, but any answers you do give us will help better support you and other students. Only your teachers and school leaders will be able to see your responses, which will not affect your classes, your class grades. Remember, this is super important because we want to hear and we want to know how you feel, right? We always talk about feelings. We always talk about how we're doing and how to help our mood. So it's important that we know how you're feeling. And that's okay. As you read before, they're not right or wrong answers. During the past week, how often do you feel excited? Almost never. So probably not. Once in a while. So a little bit. Sometimes, kind of like in the middle. Frequently. Quite a lot. And almost always. Remember, we're talking about being excited. And remember that we have our line. Almost never, once in a while, sometimes, frequently, and almost all the time. And see where you fall under. 17 says excited. 18 says happy. Same scale, almost never, once in a while, sometimes, frequently, almost always. Number 19, loved. Go ahead and answer. Number 20, safe. Almost never, once in a while, sometimes, frequently, and almost always. Number 21 says helpful. And remember, the question is, during the past week, how often do you feel helpful? Almost never, once in a while, sometimes, frequently, and almost always. Number 22, kind. Almost never, once in a while, sometimes, frequently, and almost always. 23, mad. 24, bored. 25, lonely. 26, sad. 27, nervous. Remember, almost never, once in a while, sometimes, frequently, and almost always. And we're focusing on, during the past week, how often do you feel? Number 28, worried. Number 29, afraid. Okay, good job. These are a lot of feelings, and they're all quite different. Okay, next section, your support. In this section, tell us about how you support and are supported by other people. Number 30, do you have a teacher or other adult from school who you can count on to help you no matter what? No or yes? Number 31, do you have a family member or other adult outside of school whom you can count on to help you no matter what? No? Yes. Good job. And now the last part, the background questions. What is your race or ethnicity? American Indian, Asian, Black or African American, Hispanic or Latino, Native Hawaiian, other Pacific Islander, white, two or more races, ethnicities, or other. 33, what is your gender? Female or male? How do you identify? 34, what grade are you in? Pick any of these two. And 35, what language do you mostly speak at home? Arabic, Chinese, English, French, German, Italian, Korean, Russian, Spanish, Tagalog, Vietnamese, other or multiple languages. Okay? And just like we did last time, check your answers. This is important, right? Because you're telling us how you feel and the things that you need. So make sure that you answer honestly and you answer all the questions that you feel comfortable answering. And once you're done, you're gonna click on the word submit. And you're gonna get a message that says, thank you for doing the survey, and you're done. I know it seems a little long, but you guys can do it. It's super important. It's gonna give us so much information about how you feel. And it's so important for us to hear you. We miss you so much. Please let us know if you have any questions. You can email your teachers, you can email me, you can go on Zoom, you can go on Google Meet and talk to any of us. We'll definitely be willing to talk to you and answer any questions. You know, we're here to support you, so just let me know if you need anything, okay? All right, take care.